Hi and good evening, good night, good morning. One more time from the McDonalds. Same McDonald's, same place, second video, second theme, same theme, music. This time a little bit from another perspective. I want to talk about music, finding the music process, like how I check music out, how I go into the material, how I connect it with my whole life, week, design, and this way of doing it I want to show you by showing you a little bit from last year's process in my diary. Well, you gotta know, I really do my diary now, I think for the 5th year, really excessively in details, sometimes more, sometimes less. And it also started it's like 3 years ago, or even 4, like in the 2nd year I started the record of the week doing. Like I chose one record that I was into, and then I decided to just listen to this music over and over and over again, the whole day, the whole week, and write down my ideas, my feelings, my connections, my everything, what came up to this certain music. I wrote it down. I did my critics on the first day, on the last day. I did my doodling and playing along. I did whatever I wanted to, how, in what mood I was, just depended on also the music a little bit. And I did this with Kate Bush. I did, in the beginning it was Falco, there was Kate Bush, there was Herbie Hancock, like Herbie Hancock Extreme for 9 months. There was a lot of other artists that I chose to listen to excessively. And now I was just, because my diary here this is 2018, and this is finished, 19, sorry, it's 19, 18 is finished too, so it's not wrong what I said. 2019 was finished like 1 month ago, a little bit more, plus 10 days. And I needed some time in the new year to open up my new diary, which is also here already. And I already have the first record of the week here, which I was right now before drawing some stuff that while listening to the music, I connect everything, like the music and the fine art, if you want to call it like this, the writing, all, it comes together. And the music gives direction, the record of the week gives direction. And yeah, it's the first week here, and I just did, like you see, a little bit of drawing around. And then I was thinking what I wanted to do another video about music in some way. And so as I just started last week the new diary, like I started it on the 31st of January, not that that matters, but I just needed maybe a month to go. I just wrote all the stuff in the old diary. So long story short for that, first record of the week this year, and I'm gonna show you how it looked like. I have this page on the front of my diary, which has the chronic for this year. And I have to admit, 2019 I did not have a record for every week, because there was a lot of stuff happening that kind of brought me away from that. But I had a lot of music going on, you know, and those weeks were also musical, in a musical way, productive without the record of the week. So, and actually there's another one thing really unique for this new record of the week, the first one like I'm gonna have here this year. I decided to do that record for 2 weeks, so I need another week for that. So so what I want to show you, this is from my old diary, like 2019, like the crazy artists going on everywhere, but this is actually a Tina Turner thing here. Like, I was inspired, you know, listening to Tina Turner. I like her fire. She's got some fire. Sparking grand dame of rock and roll. So yeah, here it's the side, you know, 2019. You can see what I've went through. A little musical, like these are all the records that I checked intensively in the record of the week style. Like, you can see, you can read what's in there. Like, in the beginning it was a little bit of jazz, then Sia had a big part in my year, and then there was jazz coming along again, and you know, Horace, Silver. When I look back, you know, what was going on, like exactly 1 year back. We have now the 10th of February. So if I look, 10th of February, what did I do? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I actually came from a week of no. I did not have a record of the week before, but when I look now what I did listen to, it was Grand Green. It was a little radio stuff. It was kind of mixed, but no whole record that I was checking out. So I was coming from kind of nothing and went straight into Horace Silver again. And I want to use this video also to kind of have a little insight to Horace Silver, which I admire and love a lot, you know. It's one of my most liked jazz pianists from this classic era. You know, he's an icon. He's really one of those that you have to check out if you want to go serious with jazz piano. And as I saw, also it suits to the theme of the day with, you know, I'm also into fashion. And Janelles, you know, she had at the Oscars this silver dress. I kind of know that silver dress from somewhere. I think it looks really interesting and good. Like a little bit like a disco ball, you know, these balls that running around in a circle. Yeah, let's start it. Like 10th of February last year. So I was actually, you know, I had a lot of questions, like musical things, like how to go on with this messed up stuff, you know. Record of the week. I want Train. I was thinking about Train. I was thinking about some stuff, you know. And I decided to go into Horace Silver. I checked out in 2018 the really early stuff I discovered. You know, with records of the week, I always do it from the start. You know, I choose someone or a band. I take the time for that to go from the discography. I go from the first to the last recording through it in a row in the time circle, you know. from the first to the last, or to this point where I decide I want to go until there. Like I did it with Herbie Hancock really excessively, and I decided to do it the whole Blue Notes through, which meant until end 60s. Then he changed to another label, and Warner Brothers, and then he changed again another label to Columbia. And when I finished Herbie Blue Notes, I was so like in Herbie mode, and oh my god, I was so into. I didn't want this to end now, so I decided to also check out those 3 albums he did for Warner Brothers, the more experimental stuff where he went into electronic and where he went into synthesizer thing, and yeah. So I did it with Horace the same way I started in the beginning, with Horace Silver and the Jazz Messengers in 2018, and then also one of my favorite Horace Silver's records at all, the Stylings of Silver, which was his second solo thing, and the first one actually on Blue Note, when I'm correct. In between there was also bringing out Art Blakey with his Jazz Messengers on CBS. The album I like a lot. It's called the Jazz Messengers, whereas also the version Ecaro I like a lot, which is on there. I like the whole record a lot. The sound is a little, at least I have to say, I have the reissue from the CBS box, like the Bill Withers box I had shown the last time. I also have that from Art Blakey, and I have to say that the sound is a little bit harsh and a lot of treble, so you have to put the treble a little bit down on your equalizer, and then it's good. But I don't know what they did, but it's really trebly. So if you don't know how audiophile you are, but for me it was a little bit too trebly. But I have to say also I listened mostly on the headphones and on the earpods from the iPhone. So yeah, what I want to say to this era in the beginning, what I want to add is there was also then a first solo record that's called Silver's Blue in 1956 from him that I didn't like too much. I didn't go into this with Hank Mobley also, like Mobley played on the Messengers on the first one. Yeah, I didn't get into this Silver's Blue thing from CBS too much. I don't know why. It's not bad or whatever, but I didn't get into it. Maybe because it's too blue. Yeah, and then came 6 Pieces of Silver. This was actually this was the first Blue Note Horace record on his own name that I really enjoyed a lot. 6 Pieces of Silver and then Stylings of Silver. This is my, so far, if you want to see all up to the Stylings of Silver is my favorite, and until that point it was definitely where I had told myself, so Horace Silver, you're gonna check him out now, fool, you know. I knew songs from my father, for my father, you know, this album from later, it's from the 60s, it's from, I have here this list, so I don't know every year in my head. I'm not that crazy, but most of the important stuff. So Song for My Father is 1964 with Joe Henderson, and this is I would say, if you have pick one, I think this would be it. Sorry Stylings, but Songs for My Father is just from another level of creativity, and this is also the sound. I like the Henderson era of Horace, as and also Joe Henderson, tenor saxophonist, is one of my all-time favorite saxophonists. I have to say that too. So yeah, so it was somehow happening that in later, this was kind of October 2018, and after that I just stopped for some reasons to this checking out of Horace, let it pause, and I took it on again on the 11th of February. So just want to show you now how I do that. The whole week would be like, I wake up on Monday morning, first thing I do, listen to this thing and write down what I think, and go to Starbucks and drink a coffee and listen to it 10 times in a row. Yeah, this would be the start for the week, and I did it like this. You can see I have this here. This was really bad. I had a bad phase in that time. So everything, like, here are the tracks. You can see, and I do it in an art way, and then here I have the first impressions, for every song. I have here all that the things written down for every track, and next to other stuff. So what could I say? For the explorations was that February, week 7 last year record. Let's see. I liked the double lines on pyramids. I wrote down, like, I do it. I just write down some words. What come to my mind when I listen to the first time. Like, if something is like just simple words like hybrid, swing Latin, or wild, or like adjectives, like, or like cool comping, or great unison at 6:10 or whatever. Like, then I put in the exact time where this part is, where I like, what I want to mention. And yeah, let's see what I wanted. Like Moon Race, the track number 4. There was a solo from Clifford Jordan that kind of sticked. 159 opener. And 2, I wrote down, like, Moon Race, opener of Clifford solo, 159. Opened, by two tones, 2 sounds from Art Blakey, drummer. Art Blakey was opening it, like, with 2, like, maybe the bum bum. You just have to listen to it. I don't have it in the head now what I meant, but I think Art Blakey did something to open his solo, which is cool. Clifford spielt sehr Dexter-mäßig, yeah, which means I thought that Clifford Jordan here plays a little bit like Dexter Gordon. In some way, had the remembering to Go his album from Dexter Gordon. They both play tenor saxophone. Horace solo, Art solo, yeah. I just play like some structure of the song, write down some structure thing. Whatever comes up to my mind about the song, which is somehow sticking out. A ringtone lick. Oh yeah, there's a ringtone lick from Horace. Shouter drum solo. Finally, like, this is kind of my writing down with those stuff. It's on Safari number 5. Yeah. Yeah, so like this was like the starting. This week was the starting of the second Horace phase I had. So then in next week it was all kind of red, finger popping, same thing going on. Blue, you know, the band changed. It was Blue Mitchell now. Like before, I didn't say that, and I don't have it in Art Farmer, yeah. So now it changed to Blue Mitchell and Junior Cook, Gene Taylor, Louis Hayes, Horace, of course, Horace Silver. And it's one of the legendary stuff from from the legendary area of Horace Silver stuff, and the legendary era, the first legendary era of Horace Silver stuff. Most jazz guys would say it's the finger popping and the blowing the blues away records, those two from 1959, which have a really good standing in the whole, in the jazz field. Like Horace Silver at all is really much appreciated, but those two are kind of those that are mentioned many times. So just drink them a little bit here. This time it's a real one. I had this nasty David going on again. Yeah, what could I say? Finger popping, Juicy Lucy. Great songs on there, really great songs on there, great timing, great interplay. Yeah. So it's, but I have to say I didn't enjoy it that much as, for example, the stylings of Silver. Maybe my personal taste. Then next week, Blowing the Blues Away. It's Blowing the Blues Away. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I checked out a little bit Prince this week. Prince and New Power Generation. Star Trek. There was Star Trek Discovery going on. I did watch the episodes, back then they released it. I think that was the time where I came up with it. Really good. Yeah. And here you can also see like some lyrics of mine I had done. There's also some written down Horace stuff. And here actually from later, from Diaries, Karma, Heartburn, but this is actually from later, from end of the year. I don't know what it's doing here. This belongs to a later page. Yeah. So what did I write here? Blowing the Blues Away. Let's see. Diese Platte ist mir sofort aufs erste Hören vollkommen sympathisch. Geht super ins Ohr, ins Gefühl, gefällt in sämtlichen Punkten sehr überzeugend. Yeah, that means more or less from the first listening, it's completely in my taste. It goes really good into my ears. I like it in every way you could listen to it. It's really convincing. Yeah, Blowing the Blues Away I like more than finger popping. I remember that. So yeah, after the end of the week, number 9, I had this Bill Evans coming up a little. A house is not a home, and one of my favorite Coltrane tunes, Tunji, from Impulse label 1962, was coming back to my mind, and took a day, just this one tune. I noticed Billie Eilish. I wrote down here a little bit of Billie, like yeah, some note. Like Cortina, Tunji. Checked it, I love it. And then after it went straight into the Windflower. Windflower, Herb Ellis and Remo Palmieri, two guitarists. It looks like this, It looks like this when here you can have a little bit of it. But I don't go into this too much now. I just want to say that this is one of the hidden jazz guitar records. It's actually from 1977, a little bit later era. But I enjoy this a lot. It has kind of similarities to Emily's playing, Emily Ramler, which I have a big love for. Reminded me to Emily in some way. It's Windflower, a good record, a nice cover, nice songs from the beginning to the last second. It has a great flow, a great wind. Yeah, this was the February, and this is actually beginning of March. Yeah, it's the first March week already. So I think I will leave it for that for now. With last year, the record of the week from that week now is being illustrated now. A little. This gonna, these illustrations I incorporate to my listening process, and it is the same like the music. It grows. I just start first day and add stuff every day, adding a little bit. The end of the week I have the complete picture in there. The end of the week, sometimes I have a completely different idea of the music. Sometimes it happened that, like in the first listening, I absolutely did not like it, what I was hearing, and this is really light. This light from up there, they changed something in the light, and now it's my eyes. Now what I want to say, it's interesting how sometimes it really changes. The first day I had those records where it was kind of painful to come into them, and they grew so in an interesting way to me that in the end of the week I loved that thing that in the first beginning was the pain. Most of the time the record really grows by this extensive looking at and listening at. Some of the Falco stuff in the beginning was kind of, not the first three records, but after the fourth on, it was hard sometimes. Yeah, Sia was something that I loved, from Sia. If you ever see this video, I want to give all my thanks that are possible to you. I send these vibes to you for giving me power and love to music in an era of my life where I already trashed my guitar. And yeah, this was also, I will make a Sia video another time. What I like about you, that you didn't sing the Diamond. You gave it away. And you sing it too, and really beautiful. I prefer your version, sorry Rihanna. But it's also taste, just a matter of taste. Yeah, and I love your 07 song. I think you know which one. And yeah, your music was immediately there. It grew, and it gave, for 2019, it gave me a lot of positive vibes. kind of a hard thing for the jazz also was, like, as I mentioned before, the Herbie stuff from Warner Brothers was kind of hard to get in it. Fat Albert Rotuma was okay, it has those funk stuff, it has those first touching of the more experimental side, even pop almost, it was in there. Then Mandishi, yeah, I like it, and it was then getting a little bit harder because I wasn't used to that. And the third record, this was the hardest in some way, but it opened up my mind. This was one of those records that had those pain a lot in there. Man, I thought to myself, oh my god, I really force myself to listen to that now. That's hardcore. That's not the thing I'm used to. But sometimes we have to go out of what we are used to in order to get new inspiration, to get new creative insights, to discover maybe something about things that we just can discover when we go into something with the idea of that it has to hurt. You get it back, you get it back. It's a hard work. It goes to you, and then you find really adorable stuff. And even with Prince, I had those few records where I was kind of not so happy in the beginning, because I was hoping for another Sign of the Times, or I was hoping for the most beautiful girl in the world. And but I found extreme beauties, like Emancipation was extremely beautiful. I think they're close now, I have to be quick. But it was kind of hard, and I needed 3 weeks. I needed 3 weeks for that. Like, it has 3 CDs, 3 weeks. Emancipation was hardcore time. It was 2017 in summer. Not that I didn't like it. I like it a lot, but it was kind of hard. Same was with Come, but not that hard. Prince has some kind of albums in there that are harder to listen to, but the music is really to my liking always. It's always also how I am, in which mood I am. If I'm really fucked or if I'm really in an extreme positive mood, then the record of the week, it goes really deep into me. It goes really deep into my mind. It goes really deep into my day, my week, my thinking, how I feel. And as Prince is doing a lot of music that goes really direct to my level of feeling and level of how I experience my surrounding. Could you be the most beautiful girl in the world? Could you be? It's plain to see. You're the reason that God creates girls. Yes, you are. Yeah, I don't know what I should add now. I think I have to go. They're gonna kick me out here. Just want to thank for Eminem for this great bringing back of Lose Yourself, and for Billie Eilish to make this beautiful version of the one Beatles song that I don't like that much. And I wish you all a beautiful week, and maybe you're gonna start also to have some kind of a week of a music week in a way like I have it. So for now, I'm gonna carry on my gospel. and blend myself together with a record of the week. And yeah, I'm gonna work on it. I want to send all my love to you, coming directly from my heart. And I wish a blissful, blessed, beautiful night. Because in Vienna here it's night and I have to go now. They're gonna kick me out. McDonald's, I'm gonna make advertisements here for you. So, goodbye, good night, love.